Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about what constitutes a world strand to a Dungeons and Dragons world. So basically, Dungeons and Dragons has Forgotten Realms, and it has many other worlds, right? And the first of these was Magic the Gathering. So, like the first of these, quite literally, was Zendikar, as a Magic the Gathering world, and there was a gossamer thread that was stranded, between Zendikar straight to Forgotten Realms, right? It was done by James Wyatt. James Wyatt, in my humble opinion, is the father of Dungeons and Dragons World Stranding. And by the way, World Stranding happens on other brands, but no brand in the world has done World Stranding at the incredible level, at the powerful level of Dungeons and Dragons. It's just not like, and the reason why is Dungeons and Dragons is the only triple beam Millennium World Strand world. Forgotten Realms is connected to 1,000 worlds, in my humble opinion, through Lego. 1,000 worlds, in my humble opinion, through Funko Pop. 1,000 worlds, in my humble opinion, through Magic the Gathering. Okay. All right. And on the Magic the Gathering side, it's primarily the Secret Lair Fortnite that connects it easily to 1,000 worlds through Fortnite. Fortnite is a 1,000 world IP. All right. So, and by the way, there of course is overlap on those, but they also every single one of them has a distinct world that the others don't, which is really fascinating, right? And again, no product in the world is functioning like this except Dungeons and Dragons. All right, so today we're going to talk about component. You can put a gossamer thread from one external world straight to Forgotten Realms with a component. All right, so let me define the term. What do I mean by component? Well, we've already talked about miniatures, okay? Like multiple products have created miniatures for Dungeons and Dragons. Creo has created official D&D miniatures, and Lego, of course, is the king of D&D miniatures now, and then multiple other products have created. So miniatures are already established, right? And then Scale on Kid Robot, not only have they created D&D miniatures, they have created D&D miniatures at different scales and with different medium, right? Plush and with vinyl, right? Very interesting. 8-inch and 3-inch, right? And I think there may even be 16-inch in there, right? So very, very interesting. But what's a component? Well, the best example of a component is the D&D Yahtzee Dice Tower. So when you buy Dungeons & Dragons Yahtzee, which is an extremely important product, and you should definitely buy it, because it's a lot more than a Yahtzee game, I'll tell you that right now, you get an official D&D Dice Tower. Now you're like, Scott, Dice Towers have been around forever. No, not like this one, right? It has the fat red ampersand. And when somebody sits down at your table, right, and you have out an official D&D, and you have out in front of you an official D&D dice tower that has the fat red dragon ampersand, you are saying, hey, thank you for being here. You're not at some schmuck OSR game. You didn't land in front of some horrible DM who's running some crusty old 1984 wannabe nostalgia fest, right? Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons now. Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons done right, right? Before they even set down, you're saying, hey, welcome, you're in the right place. You didn't get stuck at, some sad sack DM who's going to try to relive their 14th year of their life, with you, right? Like it's a big deal, right? So and they have stranded, right? They have run a gossamer thread from Forgotten Realms with that dice tower. They spin a gossamer thread between Borderlands, between Firefly, between Star Trek, straight to the Forgotten Realms, right? And they're saying, hey, these worlds, in my humble opinion, these worlds are connected, and we want you to tell stories together from them, and we want you to tell the most valuable, innovative, expansive stories that are possible, right? And it's a huge invitation. Now, what really gets me excited about the D&D component, the dice tower, this is really fascinating, right? Is it opens up this, and this is what I love about Dungeons and Dragons, because you've seen the SpongeBob meme, imagination. It's a joke, but it's kind of real. Like, one of the things is when you're dealing with dungeon masters, you're dealing with limitless humans, right? you go about your day and you're going to meet, these regular humans that you have to talk to, right? But they haven't controlled worlds. What's the point of talking to them, right? How many worlds have you built? How many worlds have you populated? How many, identities have you connected? How many people have you helped to blossom, right? Empathetically, emotionally, mentally, right? Is the answer 0 because you don't play Dungeons and Dragons? Why am I talking to you, right? Like it's the shape of the world now, right? So, but one of the things that really excites me about the component, the dice tower, is it invites this entire array of Dungeons and Dragons, of external companies connecting Dungeons and Dragons to things you wouldn't expect, right? Like here's a good example of this, right? What would happen if you have Dungeons and Dragons chairs? What happens if the chairs are themed by race or class or alignment? And then there are mechanical benefits to sitting in a different chair. And what if you can bring your chair, to the game, and you get a mechanical benefit if you bring an alignment chair, or a mechanical benefit if you bring an elf chair, or a mechanical benefit if you bring a paladin chair, right? What is the mechanical benefits of that component? And if your official Dungeons and Dragons paladin chair is made by Nike, what does that mean? This is the exciting part, man. This is the reason you should abandon intangible campaign composition and fully embrace tangible campaign construction. This is where Dungeons and Dragons for real starts. This is where Dungeons and Dragons gets exciting, right? Leaving behind the people who limit what Dungeons and Dragons is, right? And saying, oh, that's not in my Dungeons and Dragons. What happens when you leave the geezer grump behind and you embrace the future of physical Dungeons and Dragons, and you laugh at the people who think that Dungeons and Dragons is going digital? This is where it starts. This is where it gets cool. All that's my humble opinion. I'm ready to hear yours. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.